Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you guys are new. Today I'm going to be responding to your guys' assumptions about me. I've been really loving these videos going around YouTube, and I'm very grateful that enough of you guys had assumptions about me that I could film one too, because I was having a little bit of FOMO and I really wanted to film this for myself. So I asked you guys over on my Instagram story as well as my community tab here on YouTube for some assumptions, and today we're just going to be finishing up my makeup because I do already have my base on, and then we're gonna see if you guys were right about what you assumed about me. Like I said, I already have my foundation on because I was filming like a foundation review video. Keep an eye out for that, but I don't want to spoil anything. So we're just gonna be starting with concealer and then finishing the rest of my makeup. But if you're curious, I do have the Colourpop Pretty Fresh primer on, and then the foundation that we will be reviewing in another video coming up. I'm not going to be telling you every single product that I'm using because it's not really like the purpose of this video, but I'll have everything listed below if you're curious about the products that I'm using. But I'm just going to go for like a pretty easy makeup look while we answer these. The first assumption that I see is that I can sing, or that I have a lot of hidden talent. You don't want to hear me sing, I'll put it that way. I like to sing, and I love to sing along with songs like in the car and everything, and I love music, but I am not good at singing. I don't think I'm the worst person ever at singing, but yeah, I'm just like, I'm not very musically inclined in that way. I've got like really bad sinuses, and so I feel like my singing voice sounds like really like nasally or something, or like stopped up. So I personally don't think that I can sing. Yeah, like I like to sing when the radio is really loud so that you can't really hear me. As far as like hidden talents though, I am very crafty. So I do a lot of like crafty things. I think that's like the creative part of me, is that I really like to do all sorts of different like creative and crafty things. So I know how to like build a lot of things, and like out of wood and things like that. And then I'm pretty crafty as far as like fixing things or restoring or refinishing furniture, anything. Like I used to like scrapbooking a lot. I have a lot of like little pastimes or hobbies that kind of go in and out. Like I get bored of them and I pick up a new one. Makeup is like my one like ride or die that I've always really enjoyed, but I've always been into creative things like that. You guys might know that we have an earring business now. It's called Shop MKT, and I've really been enjoying making earrings and things. So yeah, I don't know if they're like hidden talents. I think I've talked about them a couple of times, but I think I'm a pretty like handy person. So that can kind of like lead to minor talents. I don't know, nothing extraordinary though. Also, fun fact, if there's like a Disney song where it's like a duet with a female voice and a male voice, I typically sing along with the male because my singing voice is a little bit lower. I don't like to sing very high notes at all. So that's kind of like, I don't know, I really do like music though. I think I'll go through and put some of the songs up here that I've been really enjoying, because I really love music, and I feel like depending on my mood, I'll listen to certain types of music, and I love music so much. The next assumption is that I've always been a girly girl, and that is actually not true. I used to be very tomboyish. I hated the color pink. Like I would refuse to wear it. My favorite color was blue, and my parents let me paint choose the paint color of my room when I was little. And I had like these blue Crocs. They were like the color of that cerulean blue crayon. And I had them take that to the paint store and get like that exact color. So that is the color of like my childhood room. And then after that, I had a yellow room. But yeah, I hated pink so much. I didn't want to wear anything girly. If I wore a dress for any reason, I'd have to wear shorts underneath it, because my mom said I was just like not having it. Like I wouldn't care, and I would like climb trees and stuff. Just very not girly at all. So that one is not true. But I did get into makeup when I was about 12 or 13, and I really think that was like this shift or the change for me into being a little bit more girly. And it even, I think, took my family a while to realize that that was happening, but I really always liked it ever since I first got into it. I don't know, I feel like pink is probably my favorite color. I don't really have like I guess a favorite color. I mean, I guess pink is, but I like a lot of different colors. I like a lot of pastel colors and muted colors, but yeah, I would definitely say I am more girly in some ways, but I also sometimes I'm just like not like I think other than the fact that I like to put on makeup, I think I'm pretty low maintenance in the fact of like, you know, sometimes a lot of the times really outside of work, when I leave the house, I'm in a t-shirt and like gym shorts or sweatpants. I don't really like to dress up all the time. So yeah, like give and take. I'm not like 100% girly, I would say, but I'm definitely more girly than I used to be. And when I was little, I was absolutely not a girly girl whatsoever. That is a pretty good assumption though, because I do think I come off as very girly now, especially since this is like a makeup channel, so you guys see a lot of that. The next assumption is that I am confident and outgoing, and I think this is mostly true, but there's definitely days where I don't feel like this. But overall, yeah, I do think that I am. There's certain situations though, like I don't like to, not that I don't like to share like personal stuff, but like I don't really sometimes like to share the love of makeup that I have with people unless I also know that they like makeup. And I sometimes question, is that like a confidence thing or like being self-conscious about it? I don't know. I haven't figured that one out yet. But I think it's more so of like I don't see the point in telling people about it if they don't also like makeup. But that's just like how my brain works, I guess. So I don't know if that like dips into my confidence or not. The next one is that I did not wear much makeup in high school. And I think this is pretty true until 11th grade. So I had about a year and a half of school where I do think I wore a little bit more makeup, but I actually went through and found some pictures of myself in high school. I'll try and like put a couple up here. But the problem is that in high school, I edited everything that went on Instagram or anything. So that's just like what you did. And I don't really have a lot of like unedited photos of myself. And I also didn't ever take like selfies or anything like that of myself. I thought that that was like not a normal thing to do, which is funny. Like now I take a lot of selfies for Instagram, but the only reason I even do that now is because it's of my makeup. Like I'm still not like a selfie taking kind of person just day to day, unless I have like I'm specifically trying to take a picture of my makeup. So I don't have a ton of pictures of that, but I would say in high school, most of the time I would wear foundation. Let's see, foundation, eyeshadow, cool tone eyeshadow, eyeliner, like black eyeliner and mascara. I think I wore blush too, and lipstick. That was it. I didn't wear like bronzer, highlight. I didn't wear primer. I think I did wear powder. I don't even know that I wore a lot of concealer. I think I mostly just used foundation. And I definitely did not do my brows for a while. And then when I first started doing them, they were like block brows, which I feel like is pretty typical as well in high school, for at least when I was growing up. So yeah, in general though, I don't think I wore a lot of makeup. I wore very little of all of those things. And that was not every day. I still am. I like my sleep. I don't like waking up early, so I would typically choose sleep over wearing makeup. Next assumption is that if I had unlimited money and space, I'd still want a smaller and curated collection. I had to think a lot about this one because before my channel, I actually did have a lot of makeup. And I will say that I had, if my memory is right, I had about 30 to 35 eyeshadow palettes. And I remember feeling very overwhelmed like all of a sudden with that because I really did like to collect them for a while. And then I don't know what changed, but I felt extremely overwhelmed with just the amount of makeup that I had. But I think it was more so because I would just buy makeup because it was on sale or it was like really affordable or whatever. And I would just want to try it out. But then I wouldn't ever reach for it really again after that. So I think my collection would be bigger than it is currently, but I don't think my collection would ever be as large as some people on YouTube by any means. But I definitely could see my collection, like right now it's between 100 and 150 products total. I could definitely see it being like double what it is now, and I'd be okay with it. But for the most part, the reason that I keep my collection so small, I'd say it's like closer to 50-50 financially driven as well as just like a lower waist kind of situation. I think honestly, it really is a lot of like the financial reason though, because I don't want to spend all of my money on makeup. I want to make sure that I am saving money and investing money and also paying off like student debt and things like that. So, you know, I try to manage it that way a little bit better. I just want to make sure that I'm like thinking about things before I purchase them. But to answer that more specifically, I think that's mostly true because I don't think I would have a massive collection, but I could definitely see having about double of everything that I have. But yeah, I think that that's still a smaller collection in the grand scheme of things, especially compared to a lot of collections that we see on YouTube. Most of that's just like not realistic. But yeah, that is something that I think that's mostly true. The next one is that I wanted to be a makeup artist at some point. This is absolutely true. This is something that I didn't really realize until I was already in college and working towards my degrees there. But sometimes I really do think like if I could go back and do it all over again, that I would go and get my makeup license instead of going to the college that I went to and getting those degrees. But that's not realistic because it can never happen. I can't ever go back and change that. But I also think that the degree that I got in business is very helpful for me moving forward in like my personal goals, because it does give me like a really strong business mindset as far as like if I want to have my own businesses one day, which I do. And I think that that would be really helpful for me to be a makeup artist. It gives me like that kind of mindset and thought process. So I think that that ultimately was a good decision, not to mention the fact that like I wouldn't have some of my best friends if I hadn't gone there, or my husband probably, because that's when we started dating, is when I was in college. So, you know, that's not realistic to think, but yes, I absolutely did. And I still do want to be a makeup artist. I am like building a makeup kit so that whenever I've had some friends of mine ask me to do their makeup for certain events and things. So I want to have more options and be more inclusive with that particular makeup collection, because not everyone has my skin tone. So I think it would be helpful to kind of like slowly build that. But I pretty much only would do that for friends right now, because I think my confidence would be a little bit stronger if I had like a makeup license, which, going back to that confidence thing, that is an area where I'm not very confident sometimes. Sometimes I discredit myself or don't think that I am like as good at something as other people, even though I might be, I just don't know it. But yeah, sometimes I just like, I even second guess myself so much out of my confidence to do my makeup for my own wedding. And I had someone else do it, even though I know fully well that I would have enjoyed the makeup that I had done on myself that day, but I just wasn't confident enough to do it. So that is something like sometimes I always think I could do better and I could be a little bit of a perfectionist. And because of that, I just sometimes, my confidence is not 100% in those categories. So there's an instance there where I'm not as confident as I could be. But yeah, I definitely still would love to be a makeup artist. I don't know that I would do it full time because I have a lot of interest, and this is definitely one of them. Like, I really enjoy doing my own makeup because it's very therapeutic. Whereas if you're just a makeup artist for other people, not just, but like if you do that full time, you might not have as much time to play around with your own makeup. That's what I mean by that. They're relying on you for it to look a certain way for whatever the event might be. Whereas when I play with my makeup, I just do whatever I want just because I feel like it. So that's definitely like a difference there. But I would absolutely love to be a part-time makeup artist, like on the weekends or something. I also can definitely see myself going to get my cosmetology or like makeup license in the not near but also not extremely distant future, like somewhere in the middle there. I could definitely see myself doing that though whenever it is more feasible for my lifestyle. So that was a really good assumption. I liked that one. All right, we just have a few more assumptions. The next one is that I'm really close to my family, or that I have a really big family. Yes and no. I do have a pretty big family, but they all live really far away from me. Well, not all, but most of them. But I am very close to several of my family members for sure. I'm close to some of them, of course, but not all of them. And that's something that's really hard for me to live so far away from them, but I've actually never lived close to them. But it is a lot of fun to be able to go and visit them. And then now that I'm married, you know, I have a whole other family that's a part of my family now too. So I'm really close to like a couple of my husband's family members, which are like now my family members. But like in my family specifically, I'm really close to my brother, and I've pretty much always been really close with him. And then I'm also really close to one of my grandmas. And even though she lives really far away, I try and talk to her as much as I can. But yeah, when I see my family, we're all like really close and love hanging out with each other, but it's just sometimes not possible because they live so far away from me. Yeah, that is pretty true. It's a pretty good assumption. But yeah, I do have a pretty huge family. I'm gonna go ahead and put on my mascara, and then we'll come back for the last couple of assumptions because I don't like to talk and put mascara on at the same time, really. The last two assumptions are complete opposites from one another, and these are definitely the juiciest assumptions in this video, and I'm a little bit nervous to answer them. I'll just say both of them, and then, yeah, we'll go from there. So the first one says that you love your full-time job, and the second one says you don't like your 9-to-5 job and hope you can expand your YouTube and small biz enough to quit. So basically, that second one kind of hits the nail on the head, not gonna lie. Like, totally open here. This makes me a little bit nervous to put on YouTube, okay? But yeah, that's absolutely true. I don't see myself working a 9-to-5 for my whole life. I don't think that I was like meant for that, born for that at all. I've always seen myself owning my own business. I really want to own a floral shop. That is actually a like hidden talent of mine. I think I might have mentioned it once before, but I took a lot of floral design classes in college and I really love them. I did my flowers for my wedding with some help of my bestie and my mom. But for a long time, I really wanted to own my own floral shop. I really want to be a makeup artist, like at least at some point, but again, not full time. The floral shop, I would love to own the floral shop, but I don't want to be the full-time florist in it. I would love to help out, like if there's a large wedding and they need some extra hands, or like around Valentine's Day, I'd love to help out for like seasonally appropriate times, but I would love to have multiple full-time florists that work in the shop. And I think it'd be really great for younger people to work in as well, to maybe learn the skill and see if they're into it as well. So that's something that I've always dreamt of as well. And you know, my husband and I have always wanted to own some businesses together moving forward. So this small business is our first step into that process. I absolutely love YouTube. I would be totally lying to say that I would never want this to be a job for me. Right now, this is a full-time hobby. I spend at least 40 hours a week on it, probably more, just to be honest with you guys. I spend a lot of time creating content, editing content, both for YouTube and Instagram. So that is like, I see myself doing things like that for my whole life. It's just kind of, you know, you have to start somewhere, and I'm very lucky to have the job that I have, because with the pandemic, I had a very, very difficult time finding a steady, reliable, and full-time job outside of college. So that's something that I didn't expect to face. But yeah, I really don't see myself working a 9-to-5 for my whole life. That's, I think, pretty much all I have to say about that. So yeah, I hope that answered those last couple of assumptions. I'm a little nervous about this, not gonna lie. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video. This was a lot of fun for me to film. I really loved seeing what your guys' assumptions were about me, because some of them were very spot on. And some of them were a little bit off, but for the most part, I feel like you guys assumed some pretty truthful things about me. And I really, really am glad that you guys wanted to see this video, because I wasn't sure if enough of you would respond for me to be able to film it. So thank you so much if you did submit an assumption about me. I really appreciate it, and I had a lot of fun filming this video. So let me know down below if you're surprised by any of the responses I had to these, or if there's anything else that you assume. I can definitely do a part 2 to this one day. If you guys enjoyed this video, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up, and also consider subscribing to my channel if you're not already. So thank you so much if you are subscribed to my channel. And with that being said, I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.